believe in peace.
I'm Christian.
I am Moroccan.
I am black.
I'm a Muslim.
I'm Asian.
I'm human.
It's a beautiful morning. The sun is shining and I'm surrounded by nature. I went to bed last night in a bed I feel comfortable in. I had breakfast this morning and I'm surrounded by people whom I trust. But not everyone is this lucky, and I'm grateful for what I have. The problem is that there are millions, hundreds of millions, and billions of people around the world whom face suffering because of war, malnourishment, genocide, human trafficking, political instability, economic sanctions, forced marriages, child labor, and the list goes on and on. We're not going to go into the details of these current events or what has happened, but rather we're going to focus on an idea that exists at the core of all these issues: tolerance, or rather a lack of tolerance. Now, we see people as different from us. We push them away as an other. We do not acknowledge how much similar they are to us as human beings. And as a result of these differences, we do not take a look out for what it means to be a human like them. And so today we're going to focus on tolerance and what it means to be a human backing up another human being. In the wake of a globalized world in which messages can travel across space and time at a click of a button, we are truly a global village, just as Marshall McLuhan predicted in the 1960s. Scrolling through social media or tuning into a news channel will immediately connect us to the lives of countless communities. And in the face of such connectedness, tolerance is not about silencing fear, rejection, or a desire of isolation when meeting new people or ideas. It is also not about passive indifference or the acceptance of worldly circumstances. Instead, true tolerance is genuinely caring for and bonding with all communities in the face of injustices. It is realizing that there are 7 billion ways of being a human and only one way of living as a humanity. True tolerance is an act of liberation for mankind. Now, despite these worldly issues being trends that do not know space or time, there are still many of the billions around the world who coexist and they tolerate each other with love and kindness, despite their political backgrounds, their religious affiliations, their political groups, their economic standing, their social standing. And so we're going to take a look at some of the examples in which tolerance can really bring us together as a humanity. Stephen Sapp, a 29-year-old American student who has spent 12 years of his life in Kuwait. He is a prime example of how tolerance can transcend geographical borders as well as personal identities.
This country is one of the best I've ever been able to live in as far as how tolerance is, the way that people get along together, different nationalities, different religions. I'm married to a Kuwaiti. I'm American, I'm married to a Kuwaiti, and so I have my own thoughts and ideas about what I believe in, and she has her own thoughts and ideas about what she believes in, but we're able to coexist in mutual unity, and it's great. I've never met any hostility living here. I've never had anyone tell me that I'm wrong or that I should be living differently or been discriminated against because of who I am or what I believe in or the way that I live my life. Everyone has always been very mutually respectful, and being in university has been a great experience as well, meeting other people of other nationalities, of other religions, of other groups, grow up here, to live here. So yeah, tolerance is an important aspect of development of a country, and I feel like there's a lot of room that we can grow together as a country, because there's no one cares about specifically your nationality or your religion or your beliefs, and everybody gets along.
The idea of tolerance may be simple in theory, however, bringing it into our daily lives may be a tad more complicated than that. And so you may ask, how do I embody tolerance? And the simple answer is, it's as simple as the number 6. We both may be looking at the number 6, but because of our perspectives, I may see the number 6 and someone else may see the number 9. And so it's completely fine for us both to be looking at the same situation with completely different perspectives. What matters is that we remain respectful of each other. And to talk more about tolerance, we have a word from Muhammad Akbar, who is a member of Toastmasters, an international non-profit educational organization that promotes leadership, communication, and public speaking.
Toastmasters is a non-profit organization based in California. The organization's goal is to improve people and to make them more efficient, next to improving others. Tolerance is vital to evolve and to incubate. People always say that a person with tolerance is a weak person. No, it's the complete opposite. Gandhi was a powerful figure. He says that a person with tolerance is a strong person. Imagine that you have huge amounts of hate and grudge in your system. Your system begins to formate certain acids. These acids has been tested and injected into lab rats. They died instantly. Hate and grudge will affect your body in a negative way. Tolerance begins with you first. You will achieve internal peace with yourself and become a happy person. What I see in tolerance is unconditional tolerance. It can lead to success. How could you succeed if you're filled with hatred and grudge? Open a new page in your life and begin step by step. We can't deny that people must differ in opinions and even religions. The solution is to have a common ground, to discuss our differences with respect to one another. Beauty lies in our differences. Don't judge people from first sight. Sit with them, know them, then judge. You can see life from a different angle and you will see life differently.
This is your cookies, ma'am.
Thank you so much. The United Nations invited member states to observe the International Day for Tolerance in the year 1996. It has been almost 23 years since, and we still face climates of fear, instability, misunderstandings, and violence, and so many more problems. So we can't just leave it to the international organizations such as the United Nations to instill tolerance and coexistence. We have to take it up upon ourselves as individuals. We need to realize that responsibility. Because as the Persian poet Hafiz once said, not even 7,000 years of joy can justify 7 days of repression. This has been Rania Alsabbagh for Kuwait Television.